Hey everyone, Morgan here. So today my top video is going to be the top 10 survival myths that we should probably take a second look at, maybe stop listening to. When it comes to prepping and survival and bushcraft and outdoors in general, there are so many misconceptions, maybe misleading things that we really need to explore on our own and make sure that these things actually work. I've debunked a lot of things on this channel. I've also confirmed a lot of stuff on this channel. I've confirmed a lot of stuff just through life, and I'm sure you have too as, a prepper, survivalist, or whatever. So here are the top 10. All right, the first myth is follow birds to water. Unfortunately, unless it's some sort of aquatic bird that you know for a fact is eventually going to go to water, following birds is not a good idea. While yes, all animals need water, the fact is birds fly and do whatever they want. So you could be following a bird for a long time and you would have absolutely no results and you would be even more dehydrated than you were before. Next one, flowing water is good to drink. Now, while it's generally considered that good flowing water is good to drink, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't sanitize it first. So many bacteria, viruses, there's animals that are urinating near or in it, walking through it, feces. There could be a whole bunch of things that are in this water. With the amount of sanitization products that are available to us today, there is no reason why we should not be sanitizing the water first. Okay, the next one is going to be cotton kills. Now, hold on a second. This one is not necessarily a myth. It's more misleading. Cotton kills in cold months. For the same reason that it's bad for in the cold, it's great for in hot months because cotton will absorb your sweat or moisture or whatever, and it'll hold it against your body, right? But that's bad because it'll lower your core temperature in the winter, but it'll cool you down in the summer hot months, okay? So cotton, bad for winter, and cotton, good for summer hot months. The next one is going to be matches will not light if they get wet. Now, the only matches that will not light after they've gotten wet and dried are the strike anywhere matches. Other than that, the matches will still light after they've dried. I've tested this out myself with just regular matches, several different matches, and the matches still lit just fine. Okay, the next one is going to be you can eat anything animals can eat. No, you cannot eat anything animals can eat. Many birds can eat things that we cannot. Many animals just in general can eat things that we generally can't and or shouldn't. So just because an animal is eating it or could eat it doesn't mean that you can or should. Next one is going to be survival blankets don't do anything. I think people have a real misconception about survival blankets, the Mylar survival blankets. But the way that they work is that they actually reflect your own body heat back at you. Are they going to keep you toasty warm and super amazing, right? Just like you're sitting next to a fire? No, but they will keep you alive. All right, the next one is going to be eat snow to stay hydrated. I don't think this one is perpetuated as much. I think that it's generally common knowledge that you have to melt the snow first. But if you eat the snow directly, your body has to work twice as hard to process that snow. So melt it first and your body won't have to work as hard, you don't have to work up such a, sweat just to eat that snow. The next one is going to be debris shelters are garbage. I've heard so many people saying that debris shelters, primitive debris shelters made out of sticks, leaves, whatever, that they're garbage, but they're not. Now, I think the misconception here is that people think that debris shelters are for super long-term periods, and they're not. Debris shelters are for temporary setups, but they will keep you, they will keep you dry, away from the elements if it's something that you need to do. And it's a good skill to know. So is it for super long-term? No, but it's a good skill to know. The next one is you must get shelter first, or you must get water first, or you must get food first. Listen, this rules of 3 is really messing with people's head because it says, the rules of 3 are, 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food, 3 minutes without air, yada, yada. And 3 hours without shelter. That really messes people up because they think that there's now a very specific order in which they now need to get things. However, the rules of 3 is catchy, and that's about it, because every situation will dictate specifically what you need to do. If you are in a situation where you need to get shelter now because there's a storm coming or whatever the case, then you must get that shelter now, okay? You can't wait. Also, shelter can be put off for a long time, just depending on the situation. Yeah, and in fact, you can survive 3 days without water. In some areas, in extreme heat areas, you may not last 3 days if you don't get water within just a day. You could go into heat stroke, heat exhaustion. So, you know, the rules of 3 is catchy, but really that's about it. You really need to be situationally dependent and know what you need to do first in order to ensure your survival. The last one is going to be, you need to boil water for 10 minutes after it is boiled. This one kind of drives me insane because unless you're in a higher elevation, when it comes to boiling water, you need to just let it boil. You can let it boil for a minute, that's fine. But letting it boil for 10 minutes, like actually at a full rolling boil for 10 minutes after it's already boiled, if you continue to boil water for that 10 minutes after it's already boiled, all you're doing is you're just evaporating that precious water away. So you can boil it for a minute after, and maybe for higher elevations, if you want to boil it for a little bit longer, that's fine. But I've even heard that that's a myth as well. All right, that's about it. When it comes to myths, there are many abound, and there's just a lot of misinformation out there. In fact, I recently read a book that said, don't eat snakes because they're creepy. I can't make this up. A survival book said, don't eat snakes because they're creepy. Snakes are perfectly fine to eat, by the way, and really not that hard to catch if you know what you're doing. Anyway, so let me know what prepping, survival, or bushcraft myths that you have heard and that have been debunked or that just don't make any sense to you. And put them down in the comments down below. Thank you all so much for watching. Conquer tomorrow by preparing today. Talk to y'all tomorrow. Bye.